Welcome to how to earn your first $1,000 as a freelance copywriter in the next 60 days, even if you're a total newbie. In case you don't know me, I'm Csaba Borzási, and I have a feeling that you probably know a little bit about me at this point. You know, this training invitation was only sent out to Improvement Pills audience and to my audience, so nobody outside of that. But in case you don't know me, I've been a freelance copywriter for 4 years now. In total, I've worked with more than 100 different clients at this point in all sorts of industries, from watch brands, yoga teachers, self-improvement courses, psychologists, weight loss, blockchain, finance, just to name a few. And over my career, I helped my clients generate millions of dollars in extra revenue with my copywriting. So that's why I said copywriting is super powerful. And as a result, I also got paid my fair share of the pie as well. Plus, about 2 years ago, I launched my own personal website and YouTube channel, Game of Conversions. And I also created a few courses and coaching programs to serve my growing audience. However, the interesting thing is that this didn't all happen by accident. I actually had very humble beginnings. So I was born in Transylvania. You can see it on the map here. It's in Romania, and it's that Transylvania with the vampires that you might have seen from movies and whatnot. But I was born in Romania as an ethnic Hungarian, and now I live in Budapest, Hungary, now that I'm grown up, but it wasn't always the case. And as a kid, I was never really that special or something. But I did always enjoy learning about all sorts of stuff and reading about interesting things that interested me. And later on, in my teens, I decided to study psychology because I felt like, if I could learn how the human mind actually works, then I'd be able to make much better sense of the world around us and maybe, just maybe, learn how to influence the decisions of others as well. Now, the problem was that this sounds all great on paper, but in reality, I couldn't get a job focusing on this topic, even if my life depended on it. So that was definitely a problem. But eventually, through a very rocky and twisty road that I don't want to go into right now because we don't have the time for it, I eventually found my dream career, which was copywriting. And what's copywriting? This was a question that many people asked me. So it's the art and science of creating messaging that compels people to take action. So what does this mean, taking action? Well, it can be anything from reading an article, subscribing to an email newsletter, registering for a free training like what you did actually, or even buying a product up front, or even persuading your boyfriend, girlfriend, or parents to do something nice for you. That's also copywriting. Because the important thing to remember is that copywriting is all about persuasion psychology. It's not about creative writing or something like that. It's about how to persuade people. And smart companies are definitely paying fat stacks of cash for copywriter services because whenever they need to sell something, they do it with so-called copy. They do it with persuasive messaging. And especially during this pandemic situation, more and more companies are scrambling to transition to selling their products and services online. And guess what they all need? Well, yes, copywriters. And once again, who are copywriters? They're basically specialists here who, by the way, on the chat, I see that some people are saying that they're having bad network connection. If there's a problem with the connection, there's a little reconnect button at the top of this. Just click that, and then it should reload the whole page, and then you should be able to watch it in higher quality, probably. Hope that's going to help you. So, as I said, copywriters are specialists who create the messaging they use on their website, in their emails, in their Facebook ads, in their YouTube videos, and even regular blog posts or content that they send out. And the best part about this whole thing is that it isn't even that difficult to start copywriting. So a lot of people ask, what do you need to start copywriting? Well, let me tell you what you don't need, definitely. You don't need to be a natural writer because as I said, this isn't about elaborate writing. This is about talking to people casually as if you were having a conversation with them and just giving them a compelling argument. You don't need to be an English major. Like a lot of people say that, English is not my first language, and like, can I be a copywriter with that? That you definitely can. Like, English isn't even my language, like first language. It's Hungarian. And even though I work with almost exclusively with American clients, but if you're not comfortable with English, you can also like work in your own native tongue with your own native clients as well. And then you also don't need a fancy degree for this. So there's no university degree for this. And trust me, I studied for 7 years in university. I have 2 degrees, an MBA degree and a bachelor's degree in psychology. And nobody teaches this like officially in the university, because it's very it's real life stuff that actually practically works. So what do you actually need? You need a computer, you need Google Docs, and you need an internet connection. And by the way, I say Lori. Hi, Lori. I'm Hungarian as well. Nice to have you here. Pratik asks, is copywriting the same as content writing? It could be, but I'm not going to talk about that specific type of writing now. I'm going to talk more about persuasive copywriting or sales copywriting, okay? So these are the things that you actually need: computer, Google Docs, and an internet connection. But the problem is, and trust me, I looked, is that they don't teach this at school and at college. And there are a few quality, like high-level courses on this topic, and I've taken some of them, but they cost at least like $2,000, but more like $3,000 to $5,000. So this like immediately disqualifies most people, unfortunately, from getting started with copywriting who would otherwise be interested in it, which is definitely a shame, because like I want to get more people to get interested in it. Now, since you're here on this training, I feel that you'd either love to give this copywriting thing a chance yourself, or if you've already been a beginner copywriter, then you're probably looking for new ways to get more clients and make more money. So if you're like me, that's one of the reasons. But also the other cool reason that you should be interested about copywriting is all the freedom that it gives you. And I really enjoy this because freedom of location, for example, for me is really important. You can work from wherever you want. And if you're in India, if you're in Bangladesh or something like that, you can work with American clients, no problem at all. It also gives you freedom of time. So you can decide when you're going to work and how much you're going to work. As I said, sometimes I work 2 hours a day, sometimes I work 8 hours a day, but it depends on how much projects do I want to take on. You also have freedom of choice, meaning that you actually choose who you'd like to work with, and it's not like you're stuck with a bad boss who like always bosses you around and is like an asshole. It's not like that at all. And also, it's also gives you financial freedom, because you're going to get paid like what you're actually worth, and you're making good money with it if you know what you're doing. So these are types of freedom that I really enjoy. But there's also another type of freedom that I specifically enjoy, and it's the freedom of impact. Because of this, because I've been blessed to personally experience these freedoms that I just mentioned before, I feel like at a deeper level, now it's my responsibility to help others experience these freedoms as well, because I just want to do something about it. And let me just check the chat a little bit to see what people are saying. Reepan says, yeah, being bossed around sucks. I definitely can relate to that. What else? Some people are having connection problems. If you're having connection problems, just reconnect with the button that's on top of that. Most people are not having connection problems at all. They're saying that everything is fine. Reepan asks, so individuals hire copywriters or companies? Both, actually. I usually work with companies, but when I got started, I worked with like individual coaches. I worked with photographers. I worked with, yoga teachers or something. So think about it. How many dance teachers, yoga teachers, photographers now have to transition online because there's this pandemic? Well, they need a website, they need emails, they need sales materials, and they hire copywriters to do that. And some people are asking, can teens do copywriting? Yes, I mean, it doesn't depend on the age, your age. It depends on how committed you are and like whether you can do the skill or not. If you learn it, like it doesn't, like, can you play football at 16 years? Of course you can. Can you play football at 25 years? Of course you can. Can I play football at 33 years? I can't because I'm very bad at football. Ibrahim asks, does Upwork have a category for copywriting? Yes, it has. And I actually got started on Upwork, and I'm going to give you some Upwork scripts, by the way, at the like a little bit later. So definitely stay tuned for that. So here's what we're going to accomplish during this training. So first of all, I'm going to give you an overview of copywriting as a profession, so exactly understand what it is and what it's not, and whether it's something you'd like to do. Then I'm going to give you a 5-step system that will enable you to launch your own copywriting career if you wish, even if you're starting from scratch. And basically, this gives you the chance to experience all those freedoms that I just mentioned. Then I'm also going to give you 3 awesome client getting strategies, because this seems to be one of the biggest pain points of newbies who are just starting out, like how to get clients, like what should I say to them? So I'm going to share some cool stuff with you there as well. And then full disclosure, at the end of this free training, I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my From Zero to Copywriting Hero paid program, because I have something like that as well. And basically, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what's inside it. And in case you'd like to use it to really accelerate your growth without breaking the bank, then you'll learn more about this. This is really quite an affordable program. But if you're not interested in this, no worries. You'll still get plenty of good stuff during this 90-minute training. So it's totally free. I just wanted to be transparent and give you a heads up with this. So also, if you stay until the end, I'm going to give you like a special gift. It's my 5-part consulting email sequence, and you're going to get this as a download. And it's basically an almost done for you email sequence that you can take. You just fill in the blanks, and you can just sell this to a potential client as a new type of project. It's perfect for that. And for example, when I got started, I pitched something like this to one of my first clients, not even this, like half of this, and I charged $500 for it. And I was a total newbie. I didn't have a portfolio or something like that. So this just gives you a heads up, and it's going to be a powerful new asset that you can use with potential new clients. And believe me when I say that this stuff works. It works for people like, here are a few of my recent success stories, just people who, took my advice and saw immediate results. So there's Oscar, for example, who followed my advice from one of my videos and got a gig at an agency from Upwork within a week. Or Rekia, who was in one of my programs, and she did one of the strategies that I'm going to talk about, the client getting strategy. And, very soon she got a job as an email copywriter. Or Norbert, who took basically one simple tweak that I told him on his consulting website. And then after it, he more than doubled the number of inquiries he gets. Pretty cool. So during our time together, I'm totally committed to like playing it all out, holding nothing back from you, giving you a foolproof client getting strategy that you can use and start implementing right away if you want to get started with this. And also demonstrating specific strategies that I've only shared with my inner circle of students. So I'm going to also reveal these as well. But in exchange, I also ask you to be committed to like also playing all out, being fully attentive during this training, and really focusing on what I'm about to show you, because it really, it's advisable to have an open mind. I really ask you to have an open mind about this and not resist all the information. Instead, you should ask, how can I apply this in my own life? And even if you don't become a copywriter, you can still take many of these lessons and apply it to your own life to influence others, to, convince your parents to allow you to do something, or talk to a girl more easily, or something like that. Okay, it's still copywriting. But before I just go into that, I want to share a painful lesson with you that I think it happens to most freelance copywriters who get started, unfortunately. And it's basically a personal lesson. And it's a story. And by the way, this is supposed to be a GIF, but it's not animating for some reason. But this is a story of how one of my first copywriting clients ever like totally ripped me off and only paid me for 1/3 of my service fee, even though, I've been slaving away to do everything according to his whims for more than a month. So this is definitely an example of what not to do when you get started. And after talking with a ton of freelancers, many of them encounter these situations, unfortunately. So these are people who I call nightmare clients from hell. And essentially, this is what happened by working for a nightmare client from hell. So at the very beginning of my freelance copywriting career, I was basically as clueless about this business as they come. I knew nothing about it. And I was desperately trying to, land a client to get the momentum going, but nothing was really happening. I honestly felt completely lost. Like no matter what I did, everyone was just ignoring me. And then after a few weeks of hustle, I finally managed to land my first client. And I was ecstatic. I was super grateful for my good future, yet extremely anxious at the same time. I was wondering, like, how can I do this job successfully? Or can I actually do it? Or will I just end up, messing everything up and embarrassing myself in the process before I even get a chance to give this thing a shot? So I basically gave this project everything that I got. I pushed myself, I worked extra hard, and I treated my precious client almost like royalty. And I basically did everything that he asked for and responded to all his messages super fast, believing that if I do so, he'd see me as a dedicated professional and value me and my services. But I was super naive, because not only did this client not value me at all, he also made me rewrite a 30-page document 9 times before, because he just felt like, it didn't have the sizzle or some bullshit like that. So after the 9th revision, he disappeared. He just abruptly ended the contract, and he didn't even pay me 70% of my project fee, which was like $800 at that time. And it was a lot of money for me at that time. And even to this day, it was still hurt to not get paid like this. So unsurprisingly, I felt like a complete fool. And I remember going to a family event the next day, and one of my relatives was asking, so how's that copywriting thing going for you, Csaba? Are you earning real money with it, or you're finally ready to give up and get a real job, right? Like the rest of us. Only for me to answer, yeah, it's going so well. I just been scammed for $800 after working 1 full month on a project. So yeah, it was really embarrassing. It was one of the worst moments of my life. And at the time, I felt like it was completely unfair, and I was super mad for a few days. But you want to know what I think today? Well, today I think that, ultimately what happened to me was completely predictable, and it was my fault. And I know that this sounds a little bit harsh, but here's why. I was the one desperate enough to work with pretty much anyone. I was the one who failed to set clear boundaries and set expectations the right way. I was also the one who tried way too hard to appeal to this client's every wish. And I was the one, as a result, who automatically put myself in a situation where I could be exploited. I simply didn't know better at the time. I didn't have a mentor who could tell me how to do things correctly and what to look out for, to not fall into these traps. So I paid for it dearly. And even though it was a very valuable lesson, it really haunted me for some time. But on the flip side, I try to be positive usually. I quickly discovered how to immediately spot these nightmare clients from hell, at least, and how to find these people, these bad bosses, bad clients who are basically over-controlling narcissists who think that just because they pay you money, they can exploit you any way they can. And, the thing is that I routinely see this on Fiverr and on Upwork, and other various job sites. And you know what? It pisses me off a lot, because I hate it when otherwise good people who are brave enough to try something new, get exploited like that, because all those people deserve better. And I'm just going to look at the chat a little bit, because I see that this is resonating with people. Anya asks, so how do you avoid being scammed? Well, I'm going to show you in a minute exactly right that. John asks, can you do anything about being scammed? You can, absolutely you can, but you have to know things in advance in order to avoid this. And since I know these things, I've never been scammed before, by the way. So I can see that some people are also saying like how to spot an opportunist, how to spot a narcissist. Chantal says it was like a knife in the heart. It really was. Reepen says, I have met some in Fiverr, some of these nightmare clients. Yeah, I can really relate to that. Vrushba says he lost 50,000 Indian rupees and wasted 2 months for a similar company. Oh man, so sorry to hear that. That must really hurt. I don't know exactly how much that is in dollars, but it's probably a lot of money, and it really sucks. Oh, I can see Hamza as well. Hi, Hamza. Nice to have you here. He's one of my Hamza is one of my students, actually, and he's a great fan on YouTube as well, and he's crushing it right now with TikTok copywriting, by the way. So today, actually, I'm going to arm you with the strategies you need to avoid these low-quality clients and these bottom feeders, and how you can land good clients instead, because I really want to help you avoid falling into the same mistakes that I did. I want to help you spot, identify, and avoid these most common freelance copywriting mistakes. And by the way, these mistakes also apply to general freelancing, not to just copywriting itself. So if at this point you feel like, oh my God, Csaba, I didn't think there would be painful lessons involved. I just want to learn how to make money with copywriting. Don't worry. We're going to get to that definitely. But first, in order to actually earn money, you have to learn how to not lose money and how not to get ripped off by these nightmare clients from hell. So in order to get there, you must understand things like how to play this game right, actually, without all the bullshit that some gurus are trying to force down your throat. The 5 simple steps you need to take before launching your own career, even if you're starting from scratch. And also what never to say to a potential client. And I mean never. And my proven word for script on what to say instead. And I'm going to give you a few cool examples with this as well. Plus, how to differentiate yourself from your competition so that in an ocean of freelancers, especially on Fiverr and on Upwork, you can become an easy choice. So let's just jump right into it. So again, some people who are joining a little bit later, they're still wondering, like, what exactly is copywriting and why is it so important? So again, just a quick recap, copywriting is basically salesmanship in written form. So what this means is that you as a copywriter, you are a salesman. You are someone who tries to get a persuasive message across to someone so that they do something. So the number one objective of copywriting is to create compelling messages that move people. And I said, this can be anything from doing something, subscribing to something, reading something, like helping someone, donating money to an NGO or buying something. It's all copywriting. But copywriting is the real reason why people actually buy something. And let me just tell you something. Everything that was ever sold was sold with copywriting. Even if some companies might not realize that, like emails that you read, like the fact that you are here on this training right now is because of copywriting. The sign-up page for this training was because of copywriting. The emails that I sent you was copywriting. It moved you to be here so that you can get value from it. So why do I think that, copywriting is the ultimate money skill in 2021? Well, first of all, it's consistently in high demand, especially in 2021 when a lot of companies are transitioning online and they have to move their business practices online. Physical stores, yoga teachers, dance teachers, people who used to have like one-on-one interactions, service economies, restaurants, everybody has to make new websites, new emails, new sales pages, new videos. They need copywriters. Also, not many people actually can do copywriting well. So it's pretty easy to stand out. And, some of you in the beginning asked about like how come I've never heard about this before? Well, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that this isn't necessarily a very mainstream skill. Like, it's much more mainstream to be a designer, not like a copywriter. And even some companies don't even know what it is, yet they still need it. And if you can explain it to them what it is, they definitely realize the value. And not many people can do copywriting well. As you've seen on this training, there's so many people who are totally new to this. So there's an easy way to stand out. Also, it's the basis for all marketing and sales campaigns. So every single thing that companies do, yes, there's cool design and business cards and logos and stuff like that. They're all important. But like, ultimately, if someone buys something from a company, it's because they got persuaded by a message at one point. And then the other big thing is that it's very close to the sale. Copywriting is close to the sale. So what does this mean? It means that companies, whenever they're selling something, if you can go to them as a copywriter and say, hey, company owner, look, if I were to rewrite your sales page, which directly sells something, and you would get twice the sales for that, do you think it would be reasonable to give me 10% of all the extra sales that I'm generating you? And they would be like, definitely. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Like, who wouldn't take that as a client, as a company? So imagine if you could like double their sales from, like, let's say they're selling for $1,000 and you make it $2,000. Well, in 10% of that, let's say they're just paying you that, it's $100. Not that much, but it's a start. But what if you double their sales from like $10,000 to $20,000? Then you make $1,000. What if you double their sales from $100,000 to $200,000? You still do the same work, but now you make $10,000 with it. And obviously, most copywriters aren't paid on commission or aren't paid in terms of percentages. They have flat fees, but you just have to know that, it's very easy to show the results of your work. It's not that easy to show the results with the logo or with the design, but with copywriting, it's easy to see how many more new sales the company get or something. However, the thing is that we still have a lot of copywriting objections in people, and I actually want to give you a poll. So I'm going to start a poll, which basically asks you, like, which of the following do you also struggle with? And I chose these because based on your feedback from the questionnaire that I sent you, these were things that a lot of people have been having second thoughts with when it comes to copywriting. So many people think that, they're afraid that their English isn't good enough, or like they hate selling themselves or other stuff, or some people think that their grammar isn't good enough, or that they're not a writer, so this must not be for them. But I just wanted to showcase this to you because it's not about being an English degree major as well. It's not about having perfect grammar, and it's not about being a writer. And I can honestly say this, if you can speak to someone, to a friend at a bar at a Friday night, you can be a copywriter, because good copywriting is about casual speaking to some people. It's about not like forcing them some sales pitch, but instead it's about giving people, like, uncovering what they want. So asking questions, what they actually want, and then giving them what they want in a easy to understand, persuasive way. That's the essence of copywriting. And I can see most people have completed the poll at this point. So as I said, 33% of you guys think that if you're not a writer, then this must not be for you. Well, I wasn't a writer as well, and it's way back. Actually, people who are writers, who they have university degrees in writing, have a way harder time with copywriting, because during their studies, they learn about how to write these very complicated long sentences and complicated word structures. But in reality, customers don't really read that, so it doesn't work. So you just have to write like how you speak. Also, some people said that they hate selling, myself and other things, and I can totally relate to that. I can totally understand it. But here's a question for you. Like, if you had an aunt who had very severe, let's say, back pain, and you knew for a fact that there's a product out there from a company that really, really works and that can really help your aunt solve her back pain issues, would you try to convince her to like give it a try if the product worked? Well, sure, of course, you would like to help someone who's in need. And that's exactly what good copywriting is about. There are a bunch of people who are sleazy salesmen, and they're very aggressive with their selling. But good copywriting is about basically giving people a choice. And if your product works and you know it works, it kind of is your responsibility to at least introduce it to people if you think that's helpful. They don't necessarily have to buy it, but it's your responsibility to introduce it to people. So does this make sense to you guys? Like, leave a comment in the chat if you're finding this helpful. And again, if you're wondering whether this is live or not, I'm gonna like call out some of you guys right here to see that this is definitely live. Hamza says, with good practice, you'll need to do good work at first, and then 1-2 hours a day when you're really in at a place. So that's like how much you have to work if you're a copywriter. Or like John asks, isn't suggestions like selling? Well, it's persuasion. So if you look at like this, everything is selling. If you wanna like ask a girl out, is that selling? Well, it's selling because you're suggesting that you go on a date. Hey, want to go out a date with me? You're basically selling her. But do you think of it as selling? Not necessarily. Gregory says, yeah, good point. Naman says, very simply explained and totally understandable. Great to hear that. Ranar says, I'm following you, mate, 100%. Avi says, thanks, Hamza. Michael says, I can write in English, but I don't know what to say to persuade them. Well, that's what copywriting is about, like the skill, the craft of copywriting. Bhavana asks or says, I don't have the ability to convince. It's not there on the poll. We're going to learn a little bit about this as well. So yeah, it seems like, you guys are getting a lot of value from this. Some of you are saying that it's hard convincing people, and it definitely is. It's not for everybody, but probably that's why copywriters aren't really that many. But like, if you learn how to do it, and you can learn it, it's just like a science that you can do, then you're gonna be like this insider who really knows how people actually make decisions, and you'll be able to influence others as well. And there's a good book called How to Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie. So let me know in the comments if you read that. I'm gonna just write it in the comments as well. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a great book, by the way. I definitely recommend it. It gives you, like, it was written like 100 years ago, but it really is how to like be charismatic and get people to like you more, to trust you more. Repan says, I have read this book. Sartak also says, read this book. I haven't read it yet, but good book. Michelangelo, I'm reading it right now. Cool for you. Kartik, I'm reading that. A lot of people are saying that I'm about to read it. I've already read it. So that's definitely great to hear. And then Ryan asks, is copywriting profitable in the long term? Definitely, definitely. So let's just move through it because our time is limited here. So first of all, if you want to get successful at copywriting, you need to have a specific mindset. This is like how you play this game. And I really like to look at it as a game. So first of all, you need to define a new reality for yourself because you're not an employee anymore, okay? So you no longer have to suck up to any boss and do meaningful things just because they said so. So you have freedom here. Different rules apply to you because nobody will tell you what to do. You have to figure out yourself. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You get more autonomy, but you have to be more responsible here. And this has like a higher risk, higher reward element to it because you have more freedom, but you also need to be more responsible. So that kind of answers the question of, can I be a copywriter at 17 years old? You can if you're a responsible person. If you are, then definitely. I mean, age is not an issue as well. I know of a copywriter, for example, who's like 16 years old and earns like $20,000 a month or something. It's crazy. So one of the other good perks with copywriting is that you have elastic pricing. So what this means is that you can basically raise or lower your fees on a project by project basis. It's not like you have a job with a fixed salary, and then if you're lucky, next year you're going to get like a 5% raise or something. It's not like that at all. It totally depends on you, on what you're confident in charging people, and like how much results you can bring to the table. If your copy works, if you can bring results to companies, then you can definitely raise your prices there as well. In fact, I advise you to raise your prices. It's your duty, to be honest. Also, another very important thing here is that copywriters are growth oriented. And if you're here on this training, it probably means that most of you are growth oriented as well. And what this means is that you want to improve. You want to improve your skills. You want to get better at your craft, at life, at like improving yourself. It's no wonder that most of you guys came from improvement pill. Improvement, it's in the name here. And good copywriters also take this further and learn more about the specifics of copywriting. And the last little mindset that I want to talk about is like, it's totally okay to sell as a copywriter, because some people are reluctant when it comes to selling, but if you sell an ethical product, it's your duty to help others with it. And even if they don't choose it, it's fine. It's not for everybody, but like, at least you want to give them the option. Options, if you give people options, it always empowers them. So it's definitely worth it. So let's just talk about the 5 steps to launching your copywriting career then. So we talked about defining a new reality for yourself in the previous slide. And this is very important because it's all about mindset. But then you need to understand the basics of how copywriting actually works. Then what I like to do is that you choose a money skill specialization. So you specialize in something. Then you find people who are willing to hire you for your services. And then you pitch them your services and close them, so that congratulations, now you have paying clients. And yeah, that's very, very, very simplified. That's the 5 steps to launching your copywriting career. You can go into much more detail, of course, but like, this is what you have to do in a nutshell. So this brings us to a very important point that I said, that there's something that you should never, ever, ever, ever tell to a client. And unfortunately, most people do this, especially on Fiverr or something. And it goes something like this, like, hey, client, I'm an ambitious new copywriter and I'd like to work for you. I can help you with anything you want. So on the surface, this might seem like it's good to say because you're being, I don't know, respectful and like inferior and everything like that or something. But in reality, it doesn't work at all, because like clients, they're not really looking for generalists. They don't want someone who helps them with anything they need. They want a specialist who can help them solve a specific problem. So instead of it, here's what to say. And I'm going to give you examples here in a minute. So I'm a specialization who helps client avatar get #1 benefit by your unique mechanism. So what does this mean in reality? So for example, instead of saying, I want to help you with anything or everything, you say, I'm an email copywriter who helps coaches and consultants get more coaching clients from their email list by writing story-based email campaigns. So in that case, if you were to say this to someone like a coach who's looking for emails, like, do you think this would work? Probably yes. Also, like, I'm a Facebook ads copywriter who helps online course creators get more customers with high converting ad campaigns. Again, like, what's your specialization? Facebook ads? Who do you help? Online course creators? What do you help them with? Get more customers. And how do you help them with high converting ad campaigns? And then finally, like, I'm a video script writer who helps YouTubers get more views and likes on their videos by writing engaging video scripts. So that's, again, a good example. And I'm just going to drink a little bit of water here today. Just a second here. So hope this makes sense to you guys. Leave a comment if it does, because notice anything specific about these examples. Well, email copywriter, Facebook ads copywriter, video script copywriter, they're all written by specialists. So they're not generalists, they're specialists. And the reason why I'm talking about this is that what clients actually want from freelancers is that they want specialists who can help them do certain specific stuff. Like nobody ever says to me, like even I sometimes hire people, or like I've been hired many times before. I talk to a lot of business owners who hire people, and it's like nobody ever says, hey, Chaba, do you know a generalist copywriter? But they're always saying like, do you know a good email copywriter? Do you know a good Facebook ad copywriter? Do you know a good sales page copywriter? Okay, that's what they want because they have specific problems that they need fixed. And think of it like this. So if you were to have, God forbid, a brain tumor or something, would you go to a general practitioner or would you go to a brain surgeon? Probably a brain surgeon. And because of that, like, it's the reason why specialists get paid way more than generalists. They're also respected more and they're viewed as experts. And plus, you can also learn all the things that makes you a specialist way more quickly than if you were to learn everything, like every single type of copy there is. It's hard, but if you, let's say, start specializing in email copywriting, then within a month or something, you can get pretty good at it. Obviously not world class. You have to like put in 10,000 hours with any skill for that, but like you can get good enough, and especially good enough for most companies. So I would suggest that if you're interested in this, you definitely focus on what I call money skills. And these are stuff like email copywriting, which every company needs. Like whenever someone, like think about it, if you bought something online, you get welcome emails, you get thank you emails, you get reminder emails, you get reminder emails to join this training, for example. I sent you a few, and those had content. So as you can see, good email copywriting isn't about like, hey, urgent, just join now. But it's about being helpful to people and giving them genuine content as well. And then obviously giving them a choice to do something. For Facebook ads or YouTube ads are also super popular because, you know, there's a bunch of Facebook ads when you're scrolling Facebook. I'm sure you've noticed them, and they're all written by copywriters, and companies need them. Also, they need to write like blog posts and landing pages and advertorials. And these are things that basically people on the internet, on Google, can read so that they, let's say, subscribe to an email list or something. Then upsells, you know, when someone buys something, in some cases, there's the opportunity for them to buy more after they bought something. And if you can go to a company and say, you know, I can double the value that your customers leave with you, that they pay more to you, then that's definitely something very valuable to your potential client. And also sales pages, like it's one of my favorites. And I'm actually doing like a 90-day, I'm hand copying certain parts of sales pages, and then I'm posting daily videos on my YouTube channels about this. This is way more advanced stuff than what I'm talking about here, but like I really enjoy them. And this is high risk, high reward type of copywriting. So I don't really recommend it in the beginning, but just know that sales pages are also one of the great money skills. So actually, this realization helped me go from like being a specialist, helped me go from being a low-paid copywriter for some time to becoming a high-paid copywriter, earning over $10,000 a month in 2 years, because I specialized in email copywriting in the beginning. Now I have several specializations, but like I started with that, and clients really appreciated it. So based on that, let's just revisit the 5 steps that I mentioned here based on this specialization mindset. So if you were to define a new reality for yourself with the specialization in mind, like let's say you want to become an email copywriter, and then you say, okay, so my new reality is that I'm going to learn how to write story-based email campaigns that turn subscribers into customers. Then when you go out to understand the basics of copywriting, then you're going to focus specifically on email copywriting. When you want to like find clients to hire you, you're going to look for clients who are looking for email services specifically. And then when you're pitching them, you're also not pitching them general stuff, but you're like saying, hey, you know, this is how I can help you, and I specialize in email, so that's why you should hire me. And yeah, if you do this, you're going to become much more successful much more quickly. So okay, now we know all these things and how to differentiate, but now the big question, how do I get clients? And let me just look in the chat a little bit to see what you're saying here. So Jason says, is your email an example of copywriting? Exactly. It's an example of copywriting because it moved you to do something. It moved you to come here, to have the choice to come here and consume this free training. Michael says, thanks for this. There's something about Discord. I don't know exactly what this thing is referring to. Like, what does it have to do with this? Is it possible though? It makes sense, sounds good. It's a tremendous idea. Looks interesting. So definitely something great. Okay, so how to get clients? This is the... Oh, Tanya also asked, is it important to learn digital marketing for copywriting? Somewhat, yes. So they're very close. Like good copywriters, they are also digital marketing strategists as well. They go hand in hand, actually. That's why I said that it's more about the marketing part than the writing part itself. Sandesh, how to identify nightmare clients? I think if you no, actually, I'm gonna cover that exactly right now. So how to? That's a great question at a great time, because how to identify nightmare clients from hell. So here's like, what's the difference between them? First of all, nightmare clients don't really pay you well, while dream clients pay you handsomely. Nightmare clients look at you like you're 1 in a million, while dream clients look at you like true specialists. Nightmare clients tend to control everything you do, while dream clients, they give you autonomy and freedom. And, as you can see, basically nightmare clients are bad people who are unreliable, who don't respect you, who like blame you when something goes wrong. And they're usually just unpleasant people to be with. And there's a lot of these people who are business owners, unfortunately. A lot of them are narcissists or sociopaths or psychopaths even. But if you can watch out for these things, it becomes way easier to spot them. And like, how do you know when you've identified the dream client? Well, they pay you well, they respect you, they trust you, they view you as an expert, they're charismatic as well, and they make you feel appreciated. Maybe this is the best way to spot nightmare clients, is to like, nightmare clients make you feel like a bad person. It's a terrible feeling, like as if you were at fault for something. And dream clients, they make you feel appreciated. And, that's what I have with the Improvement Pill. For example, he's also one of my clients. And we've been working together for like 1.5 years at this point. And he appreciates me. He knows that I'm the expert when it comes to copywriting. He gives me autonomy to test new stuff out, to come up with new email ideas or other types of promotion ideas or something, content ideas even. And he makes me feel appreciated, which is definitely a good thing to do. And I know for a fact that a lot of people here will also know, like if they've worked with a nightmare client before, they will know from now on like how to actually spot them. So the thing is, if you want to work with dream clients, you also have to like be a professional yourself. And I really like this model from a very famous and really good copywriter called John Carlton. If you want to look it up on Google after this presentation, I encourage you, because he's more advanced, but like it's really one of the best copywriters out there. So he said that basically the pro code means is that you are where you said you'd be, when you said you'd be, having done what you said you'd do. And also, in some cases, you can be the adult in the room with clients. So what does this mean? It basically means that if you promise people something, then you do it. And you do it how you promised it, and you do it by the time you promised it. And I also always respect this when I'm working with clients, because I feel like I'm a professional. And that's why they value me at all. Because, to give you the truth, like 80% or 90% of people don't respect this. 80% of freelancers definitely don't respect this. And that's why, most clients are afraid to hire freelancers, because they also are afraid to get scammed. Like, it isn't just freelancers who get scammed, tons of clients who get scammed. Believe me, do believe me. And if you can do just these 3 simple things, these 4 simple things, then you're already way ahead of your competition immediately, seriously. So that's what you have to do. And then if you do this, like clients are going to notice it, and they're going to, like, if they're nightmare clients, they're not going to like you because like you are a professional and they're not the professional in that case. But like it's in your best interest to like get away from nightmare clients. But good clients are going to like identify you and value you and hire you for more. So here are 3 of my favorite client getting strategies actually that I personally like to use, and these are things that I recommend to people who are just getting started actually. So first strategy is to basically demonstrate your expertise in various groups. And if you look around on Facebook, for example, there are tons of free and even paid groups out there, and they're full of business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking to get their problems solved. And there's lots of qualified people there, but you do have to filter them. So here's what you do. You go join groups like ClickFunnels or Justin and Stefan Talk Copy. It's also one of a great copywriting group, or the Copywriter Club or something like that, or Kink Pinning. That's also a great book, like group. And then you search for relevant posts for people. Like, let's say somebody's saying, hey guys, I'm struggling to write sales email sequences. Like, can you help? You search for those posts. You just search for email, for example, or email copywriter, and then you simply start answering their questions with helpful tips. So even as you're learning copywriting itself, what you're learning, you just rehashing to those people, and you don't explicitly ask something in return. You just are there to be helpful. And believe me, like after a few of these, not everybody, but some of them are going to like reach out to you and say, hey, I appreciate your help so much. Can I actually hire you to do this for me? Because I'm very busy as a business owner. And that's one of the common things that business owners have, is that they're super busy. So if it makes sense for them, they're really happy to hire you to do some stuff, like especially like copywriting for them, if they see that you're an expert. And one of the best ways to demonstrate that you're an expert is by reaching out to them and being helpful. So let's just look at the chat a little bit. So can you list all the groups, at least some of them, Sayadin? Basically, you're gonna be able to revisit this from the replay, or like maybe I'm gonna add it to these slides as well. I'm not gonna start writing it right now, but you can just I'm just gonna tell it one more time, and then you can watch it from the replay. So like ClickFunnels is a good one. Stefan and Justin Talk Copy, that's one of the best ones. The Copywriter Club. If you want to focus on e-commerce, then Kink Pinning is a group that could be good. There's also like other various job boards or something like that. Cult of Copy, for example, the Cult of Copy. That's also good. Om says, follow Dan Lok. I'm not really a big fan of Dan Lok, actually. I know that he has a really expensive copywriting course, but I've heard really bad things about it, to be honest. And it's not him that's teaching the copywriting. It's not like he has a bunch of people working for him that do the copywriting. It's like he's just the business owner. He's the brand face of it as well. I think that this strategy actually works pretty well. But you do need to have some knowledge for it. But you can easily get it in a few weeks, even if you want. So the second strategy is Upwork and freelancing sites. Now, this is a bit more difficult nowadays than when it was 4 years ago when I got started, but also like it can still work pretty well. So think about this. Like, you are a copywriter. You're trying to be a copywriter. So why not just act like a copywriter and do copywriting for your own profile as well, okay? Because remember, like 90% of freelancers are total amateurs. And even if you just respect the pro code and you just do some copywriting magic on your profile as well, you can stand out compared to others as well. And here's a quick tip for you. Here's what clients actually want from you. They want reasonably priced experts who can solve their problem without causing more complications. So that's what that's what clients actually want from you. That's it. They want a reasonably priced expert, not the cheapest one, who can solve their problem and do it without causing more complications. So if you can do that, you're definitely going to be successful there. And here's an interesting Upwork proposal example that actually was one of my own proposals for the photographer client that I mentioned a few minutes ago. It was one of my first clients, and this is exactly what I sent them. I'm not going to read it right now because we don't have the time for it, but you're going to get it from the slides later as well. And basically, what I want to highlight you here is that this has basically 4 parts. The first part is basically just connecting with them. So I'm not trying to pitch them something immediately. I'm just trying to like connect with them and build rapport with them. It's like, hey, I checked out your website, and you have this cool thing called trash to dress type of images, and I really like it. Then I suggested something to them. So I gave them value. I said, hey, I noticed that you don't have an email opt-in box on your website to collect email addresses. So have you thought about like adding this? Because then you would get leads and you can get customers from emails as well. And then after this helpful bit, I just said, this is very important. We can discuss the details, of course, but first I just wanted to see if this is something you might be interested in. So I'm not trying to like immediately like overwhelm them. I just say, hey, if you're interested, you reach out to me. And this is very important to reframe the whole context, because I'm not saying them, please, please, please don't hire me. I do anything you want. I'm saying I can help you, but if you're interested, then let me know. And then they have to do the first step. And then even if they reach out, it's like, if you're interested, would it be okay if I sent out a few ideas on how I could help? Like, how could they refuse this? Like, somebody just congratulated them on their work, so built rapport with them. Somebody just gave them some valuable information without asking anything in return. And then they just, asked them whether it'd be okay to send even more tips. Like, why would they say no? Obviously, they're going to say yes, most of them. And like, that's exactly what happened. I sent them a few more ideas. We exchanged a few messages, and then he hired me to write 5 emails for $500 for a photographer. So pretty cool. And you can definitely model this yourself if you want. And you're going to see it in the replay as well. You'll be able to like copy it if you want. So before I tell you about the third client getting strategy, I quickly want to like tell you about 6 common mistakes that actually repel clients, because this little presentation, this email template here, or like proposal template, works really well, but notice that it doesn't have these mistakes that I'm about to show you. So 6 of the most common mistakes. First of all, you're desperate. If you act desperate, it signals to the client that you don't know what you're doing, that you're an amateur, and they don't want somebody to mess up their stuff. They want, remember, a specialist who can help them. And you don't have to be a world-class specialist, by the way. You can still be a beginner specialist. There are world-class specialists. And some clients, they can only afford like beginner specialists. That's totally okay, but don't act desperate. And don't start selling from your heels, which means that you're kind of like, hey, I would be so grateful if you could maybe give me the chance to prove myself. I promise to like do everything you want. Again, it's desperate. It's selling from your heels. It projects low confidence, which means to them that you don't know what you're doing. Also, if you send over too many samples, like clients don't want more work. They just want to like see very briefly whether you can actually do the work that you want to help them with or not. You just send over 1 or 2 examples of your previous work, for example. Or if you don't have these previous samples, you just write something for them right there based on a few copywriting principles, and then that's it. Also, if it's hard to communicate with, or like you're a difficult person, you're trying to make your clients' lives more difficult, or if you don't follow the pro code, these are all things that basically repel clients. Fatan asks, is there any example of good copywriting for selling product? Well, not necessarily in this presentation, because this is about the basics, but You can also check out the emails that I sent out on Improvement Pills list or on my own list if you want. Those are pretty effective emails, by the way. The recording, yes, you're gonna get the recording, but before you get the recording, I have a little cool like gift for you, like after this slide immediately. So the third strategy that I want to just briefly mention is that you meet the client where they're at. So basically, let's say you enjoy Improvement Bill's work. And this is actually how I got to like work with Improvement Bill, is that I joined his email list and I observed what he did. And then I offered helpful, like you can offer helpful advice to people without actually seeming needy. So like you just say, hey, like, thank you so much for all this free content that you're sharing me. It's super valuable. Now, I noticed that you don't have an automated welcome sequence for people, for example. Like if you asked about, somebody asked about like good example of copywriting. When you join Improvement Bill's email list, you get some automated so-called onboarding emails. So they're like welcome emails, like giving you some stuff to get you acquainted with his whole thing. Those are, for example, a good example of copywriting. And you can sell something like that similarly to clients as well. And to tell you the truth, most clients and most like smaller clients definitely don't have these automated welcome sequences. And you can easily say that, hey, I noticed that you don't have this. So that way, new subscribers, don't get to know you easily. They don't trust you. So would you need help with that? And believe me when I say that there's basically zero competition with this, because almost nobody does this. Like I have people on my email list, and some of them are beginner copywriters, most of them in fact, but like it's zero competition. Like nobody reaches out to me to suggest things. And like I'm a copywriter, so I don't need suggestions. But like most business owners, they're definitely not copywriters. They're business owners. They need copywriting suggestions. So it can definitely help. But like, what exactly should you say to them? Well, just use my done for you 5-part consulting email sequence. Okay. It's basically, and I'm gonna just give it to you right now. So right now, a little button will appear in the chat, and you can click it and you can download this. It's basically, as I said, an almost done for you email sequence that you can just fill in the blanks and you can customize it. And you can just, like, even if you're a super beginner, you just go to the client and I say, hey, I want to write a few-part email sequence for you. And if they hire you, this is what you just customize and sell them. And boom, you got yourself a client and a paying project. That's it. So hope you leave a comment in the chat if you're finding this helpful. I'm gonna leave this for a few minutes here that you can download it, but you're also gonna get it later in an email as well. So this stuff, actually works, believe me. And I know that some of it might seem a little bit weird to some people, but it's really effective. And it's like let's throw stuff against the wall type of strategies don't really work too much anymore. Like just joining Fiverr and Upwork and just doing what everyone else is doing isn't working, because you're just one in a million. But there is a way to do this more effectively, and it's by doing the 3 strategies that I mentioned before. And nobody likes getting rejected 100 times before landing a single like nightmare client or meh client even. So that's actually the reason why I decided to do this training, is because I wanted to help you make landing clients significantly easier for you. And I wanted to help you discover what are the key mistakes that a lot of copywriters make and how you can avoid it as well. I'm just going to drink a little bit of water here, because I do realize that sometimes I'm overly enthusiastic and I talk so much. So I'm also going to just give you the slides for this as well, the presentation slides. Now, you don't have to look at it right now. Just download it and then save it to your computer and look at it later, because it includes everything that I just covered. You're going to have it for later as well. But I still have a few more things to cover here. So here's the thing. And here's the little thing. the slides themselves. So the thing is that even though I taught you so much on this super valuable training, there's so much that I still couldn't teach you because we have time limits here. So this is just a primer for you in case you want to learn this even deeper and what to look out for in the next steps. So in order to actually succeed, you need to learn how to consistently attract high quality clients, what to say to them in your conversations, how to actually deliver on your promise, how to communicate professionally. This is very important. As I said, the pro code, what type of copy to write to them. So when is the good time to sell them email campaigns? When is the good time to sell them Facebook campaigns? And also how to get raving reviews for them and referrals, because those actually increase the chances of you getting even more business from them. So at this point, basically, you have a choice. So either you can continue yourself and keep doing things alone, but to be honest, most people are beginners here, and it's safe to assume that, we've accomplished more in the last 45 minutes than most people accomplish working on their own in months. But you can totally do it on your own. I did it on my own. But there's also another option. You can also get help from someone who's already done this before to avoid all the challenges, costly mistakes, and years of struggle, and to achieve basically success faster, quicker, and easier. Because why wouldn't you if there's an option for this as well? So if you do this in a smarter way, you can definitely accelerate your growth. So let me ask you something. Are those things that I just mentioned some things that you want in your life? And are you committed to doing what it takes to get there? And do you want to get there faster, better, and easier? And are you ready to launch a new copywriting career from scratch even? So if any of the answers to these questions is yes, then it's with great pleasure that I introduce you to my popular From Zero to Copywriting Hero program. And I just mentioned this a little bit in the beginning of the training. So this is totally optional. But in case, some people definitely have shown interest in this. And just to give you a quick overview, this is a proven 5-week system that's specifically engineered to help you land good quality clients and start your freelance copywriter career from scratch. Your mission with this, should you accept it, is to join the program and then get a massive boost to confidently launching your freelance copywriting career from scratch, so that you don't have to scrabble everything together yourself from everywhere on the internet. So if you do this, this enables you to earn more income, get more cash on demand, master a lucrative new skill, live the life of your dreams, and even have complete control over your future. Because as I said, copywriters have a lot of control in their life, and that's one of the big perks. So wouldn't you like to become one? If you want to become one, here's how From Zero to Copywriting Hero actually can help you get there. So there are 5 major steps that I cover inside the course. And this is actually based on an exclusive closed-door group implementation program that I just did with a few select students last year. And then during this program, we recorded everything. And what we did is basically we went through the entire program curriculum together in real time, and we built an incredible system that just works. So here's how this system actually looks like. So the first module is all about the fundamentals of copywriting and how to get started from scratch, even if you're a beginner. So it's very important to get clear on the fundamentals on how you as a freelance copywriter fit into this whole business ecosystem of clients and how to attract good quality clients. Then during our second module, we dive deep into the art and science of the copywriting process. I'm going to show you 5 proven ways, even often ignored ways, to really get good at copywriting and how to get people to actually do something. Somebody just asked how do you actually do copywriting? Well, this is how you actually do it. This focuses a lot on persuasion psychology. As I said, this is not about creative writing. This is the science of copywriting. And this is about influencing people and how they actually make decisions. Then in the third module. We're going to go way deeper into the money skills that I just mentioned. So the demand for these is huge right now, and companies are constantly looking for copywriters who specialize in one or even all three of these money skills right now in 2021. So they're paying a lot for these things, and if you can learn these, you can again shortcut your way. You don't have to struggle with this, and you can just become way better, way easier. And then in module 4, actually, and I know for a fact that this is going to become a fan favorite here, because we're going deeply into getting clients. So I call this module the Rainmaker Client Attractor Formula, and it solves the number one problem that people have, is to how to get clients, and we're going to fix it inside this. So you're going to learn how to land clients faster, easier, and without struggle, and do it in a way that fits your specific personality, because I'm going to share with you several additional extra client getting strategies that can work even if you're an introvert or an extrovert. There's something for everybody there, and it's super valuable. And then module 5 is about pulling the curtain behind my no nonsense high ticket selling system. So you don't have to join Dan Locke's $2,000 high ticket closer course. This is basically something similar to that in a way more compact form. So it's basically the same sales system that I use to close 6, 7, and 8-figure clients on the spot, and you can use this to land clients faster, easier, and even without struggling. And you don't, after you implement these, you won't have to struggle with so-called feast and famine cycles anymore. So you're gonna have clients consistently. Plus, you're also getting extra checklists and cheat sheets and various copywriting resources all in one place. And a copywriting library with dozens of videos, video case studies of past students, dozens of them, and good stuff like that. So here's the thing, here's the overview, once again, what you get. But if you were to figure everything out on your own, it would take you at least $1,000, 1,000 hours to really figure this out on your own. And you'd spend more than several tens of thousands of dollars, believe me, because I went through that. So that's definitely not really ideal. Or you can also get one-on-one coaching with me or others as well, but it gets pretty expensive pretty quickly to work one-on-one with experts. Or you can join expensive courses from gurus like Dan Locke and pay $2,000 or even $5,000. It's crazy for basically getting a course just to discover that it's basically a Ponzi scheme with never-ending sales pitches and upsells from that point on. And I can see some people in the comments saying that, haha, Dan Locke is basically a fake guru. So I'm not really picking on him, but why price your course at $2,000 when you're trying to help beginners? It doesn't really make sense that much. So yeah, these are your 3 options. Basically, the conventional, Lori says, I hate Dan Locke. So it seems like this resonated with people. So, I realize that you're beginners here. And if you were to take just the teachings from this training itself, you're already way ahead of others. But since you made it live to this training and you took the time and you're clearly committed to improving your life, I want to give you a much, much, much better deal today. And as I look at the chat, some people are saying, just let me know the details already. In a moment I will, but there's something that you have to know about me first. It's just good enough isn't good enough for me. And that's why when I was putting together this exact live training, I get incredibly excited for you and all the good things that I think are in store for you. And I had a thought, and I said, I was asking myself, if somebody had just invested in this amazing program, in Zero to Copywriting Hero, what else would they need to get even better results from this? And then I realized that, this $1 million copywriting resource library that I kind of have would definitely be super valuable. this is a central repository of the best copywriting resources I know of, and it's easily valued at $500. But like, you're getting it for free if you join the course today. And then I had another thought. So let's say if somebody just invested in Zero to Copywriting Hero and also got access to the $1 million copywriting resource library, like what else would they need to get started fast? And then I thought, I have a bestseller email template pack, like another one that I have, which is called the 7-Day Rainmaker email sequence. And this is a done for you email campaign. You just, again, fill in the blanks, and then you can sell this to clients easily for like $500, maybe even like $700 to $1,000, even if you're a beginner. And I sell this for $99, but you're getting it for free when you join today. But then I had another thought, and it's like, what if I also included like a copywriting swipe file? So basically a big copywriting like library of winning copywriting examples, so that people could get an endless amounts of inspiration whenever they have to write something. And that's why, I also want to include something I call my ultimate copywriting swipe vault, which is like, it's ridiculous. It's like 2,000 pages of various copywriting samples and resources. And I think this is easily valued at like $697. So everything I just mentioned, yours forever when you join Zero to Copywriting Hero today. So what do you think? Like, pretty cool bonuses there, right? So you're getting the From Zero to Copywriting Hero system today. You're getting the $1 million copywriting resource library valued at $499. The 7-Day Rainmaker email sequence valued at $99. And then also the ultimate copywriting swipe vault, which is a $697 product. So the total value for this is actually, and I calculated it, it's $1,774. But as I said, you're not going to pay that today. And you're not going to pay even half of that today, and not even half of that. So because you're a beginner and you've taken the time to join this training right now, I really appreciate it. And because of that, your investment for the full-blown Zero to Copywriting Hero training program, plus all the 4 incredible bonuses you see on the screen, is just a single payment of $197. Or there's also another option, which costs $497, in which you get the same program, but you also get a live implementation coaching call, group coaching call each week for 5 weeks, so that you get more personal help to actually implement all the things that you're learning in the program. So I'm proud to announce that enrollment for this is now officially open, and just simply click the newly appeared link at the chat box, or a link is also going to appear soon on the slides, and then you can join right away. But I do have to warn you that this specific deal that I mentioned is only available right now. It's a ludicrous deal, to be honest. Like, I sell, like, all the bonuses alone are worth 10 times as much. But if you're interested, I'm giving you the opportunity to enroll right now while these crazy bonuses are still available. And also for the coaching version, there's only limited spots for that. So you should know that. So in case you're wondering whether this works or not, here's our recent success stories. So Oscar, who followed my advice and got a gig at an agency from Upwork within a week. Rekia, who immediately got a new client after taking my advice. Or Norbert, who more than doubled the number of inquiries he gets almost instantly. But we also have other, like, students of people. And Hamza, I've seen Hamza on this specific call, actually. He said, I'm in the 2nd module of the From Zero to Copywriting Hero. And trust me, dude, your work is insane. The value you give, holy shit, it's mind-blowing. So definitely great to hear that. Also, Jonathan, who said, basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but like an insightful and detailed yet easy to follow program led by a guy who goes above and beyond to help his students learn and improve the best of their ability. Also, Drake Rogers, he just says, you just became my favorite internet marketer overnight. And I also have a special message from Improvement Pill that I want to just show you here.
Improvement Bill here. Prior to working with Chaba, I never had any copyright training, so whenever I created a new product or tried to promote something via email, I would just wing it. And honestly, the results were all right. But about 1.5 years ago, Chaba reached out to me and basically told me that I wasn't optimizing my resources correctly. Now, he wasn't the first copywriter to do so. Dozens of others have approached me about this before, but he was the only one that sounded like he knew what he was doing. He presented me with a strategy and I grilled him about it for over an hour. I'm somebody who likes to ask questions to see if the person on the other side actually knows what they're talking about. And to my surprise, he was actually able to answer each and every single one of my questions in extreme detail, explaining the psychology of marketing behind every single aspect of his plan. And I was so impressed at how knowledgeable he was that I decided to pull the trigger and start working with him. And honestly, I can definitely say that it was one of the best business decisions that I made in my career. He was tasked with writing the copy for my sales pages and most of my emails, and because of his efforts, we were able to double the sales for my flagship product, the Habit Builder Challenge, in a very short period of time. He also helped me improve the relationship I have with my email list, bringing the average open rate from a weak 17% to a whopping 40%, which is far above the industry average. I've enjoyed working with Chaba and can definitely see myself continuing to work with him for years to come. Now, copywriting is definitely going to be one of those skills that will be heavily sought after in the future as more and more businesses move online. And Chaba is definitely one of the most knowledgeable people in this field, so I genuinely believe that you can learn a lot from him too, because I know I sure have.
All right, guys. So I hope you found that helpful, Improvement Bill's message here. I'm really honored by it. His great words. But one more thing that you have to know about this course, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can join risk-free. And if you don't like it, like I don't want your money, like you can give the entire course a test drive. And within 30 days, if you don't like it, just send me an email and I refund it for you. It's no problem at all. However, this only applies for the base $197 version. It does not include the 5-week group coaching option. So if you choose the 5-week group coaching program as well, the coaching part itself will not have a money-back guarantee because I have to book these in my schedule in advance, okay? And I can see that somebody already purchased this. Jeremiah Vega, nice to see you inside. So just know that you're protected by a 30-day money-back guarantee for the normal version, definitely. So there's something else that you should know about me, and it's like, I really want to over-deliver for people. And I'm going to do something that I've never done before, believe me. And if you join, or when you join right now, and before the end of this live training, so right now, I'm going to give you a super valuable fast action bonus. And it's my instant access to my full Rainmaker email mastery copywriting course. It's an email copywriting course. And this is a standalone self-paid program that includes everything you need to master the art and science of email copywriting specifically. So it includes 40 plus proven done for you email templates that you can use to immediately customize and send it to others. And in fact, I'm selling this exact program for $297 on my website right now. So you can buy it, but it's more expensive than Zero to Copywriting Hero and all the other bonuses combined. And now, if you buy right now on this training, you're also going this for free. So I'm in a good mood today, and I want to give you a truly great deal. I said that, I want to give you a no-brainer deal, and this is it. But just be warned, this only applies if you join from Zero to Copywriting Hero right now on this live training before the timer hits 0. So this is very important. Once the training is over, the bonus goes away for good. And for those who end up joining later, you will still get all the bundle and all the bonuses and everything, but you're not going to get Rainmaker Email Mastery. In fact, I'm going to manually add people who purchased during the webinar. So you better enroll now if you're interested in this. So Now the question is, like the big question on your mind, is this right for me? And for some people who are asking for wondering where can you buy this, there's a big button in the chat box. Actually, you can click it there. It will bring you to a secure checkout page, and there you can just put in your credit card details or PayPal details, and you'll be able to buy it right away. So who is this right for? Because it's not for everybody. It's right for you if you hate your boring 9-to-5 job. It's right for you if you've already tried freelancing before, maybe, but with little success, or if you're looking for a new lucrative career, or if you want to work from anywhere you want, or if you're an action taker and you want to take responsibility, because it is your responsibility to like actually implement this, but there's all types of guidance and everything there to make sure that you can do it. And also, if you deeply care about self-growth and other people, if you're willing to set aside sufficient time, then this is definitely for you. And you can join by just visiting the link below. However, it's not for everybody. And it's definitely not for you if you aren't going to do anything with it anyway, or if you're just looking for a magic pill, like probably Dan Luck is trying to sell you the magic pill, but to be honest, I hate to break it to you, but there are no magic pills in life. Those who try to sell you the idea of becoming a millionaire, like high-paid closer without doing anything, are simply scamming you, or who are trying to like get tens of thousands of dollars from you to like teach you these basic stuff, are simply scamming you. And that's the truth, actually. This is not for you if you want a magic pill. And then if you like to complain or blame others for everything, or if you have to go into debt to join, then don't join this. This is only for people who are comfortable. I don't want to sell you this so that, you get in a bad position in life. Only join this if it makes sense for you. Okay. So, if any of this implies to you, then I wholeheartedly invite you to join. So I'm going to open up the chats. I'm going to look at a chat exactly right now to see what people are commenting. But like until they're writing in their stuff, just like to give you a very quick overview again of what you get the From Zero to Copywriting Hero system. You get 3 cool bonuses: my $1 million copywriting resource library, the 7-day Rainmaker email sequence, and the ultimate copywriting swipe fold. And if you join right now on the webinar, you're also getting the fast action bonus, Rainmaker email mastery. Okay, so I seen Ryan just purchased and he got access to Rainmaker email mastery, which again, it's a more expensive program than the currently great deal that I'm offering you with Zero to Copywriting Hero and all the other bonuses. So it really is a no-brainer. Just go to just click the little button in the chat box and you'll be able to join right away. And if you're wondering like, will this work for me or something, just know that this program was specifically designed with beginners in mind, and all the battle-tested strategies that I share inside, they work regardless of your age or nationality or education or gender. Yes, you do have to put in the work, but remember, basically all you need is a laptop, an internet connection, and some type of word processing software. That's it. And remember that you're also protected by my 30-day ironclad money-back guarantee. So you can join this risk-free. Obviously, I'm not looking for people who just join it and then immediately ask for a refund, because why waste each other's times? But like, if you're wondering to give it a shot, like you should, because it's risk-free. Like if you don't like it, you can ask for a refund and it's totally okay. We'll still part as friends. So I'm gonna end this webinar in a few minutes, but not before answering all your questions now. So I'm just gonna leave this little slide here, and I'm gonna even like turn on my camera right now so you can see me actually, and let me just answer the questions for now, okay? So I'm just gonna actually make the video a little bit bigger. So before I do that, actually, shout out to the people who've already joined, okay? Shout out to Ryan, shout out to Benson Gao, welcome inside, to Neil, welcome inside, to Jeremiah. It's great to see you guys. So Rosalind says, thank you, Trouble, for sharing your knowledge today. Sadly, I'm still a student and I don't have the money to join right now. It's not a problem at all. There will be offers like this in the future, just not this exact offer. So maybe when it makes sense for you, then you can definitely join. Bhavesh says, is it possible to have a payment plan for this? It's not possible for this one. Again, I'm not looking for people who cannot really afford, like if they have to stretch their entire financial budget just to get this, I don't want to force you into something like that. I'm not like Dan Locke or something that I want to put you in debt with this. So it's totally okay. You can still get tons of free content from me if you read my emails or you check out my YouTube channel. That's definitely okay. So guys, just leave any question that you have in the chat below. What's your word per minute? Ibrahim asks, just curious. I never actually calculated it. I actually wrote the whole funnel that I did for this thing. I wrote it really, really quickly. So I basically wrote 33 emails in total in 3 days or 4 days or something. I don't know exactly, but it's pretty fast, I guess. So Bhavesh says, I'm ready to do the hard work. Awesome. John says, there are improvement pills. If you're referring to these are improvement pills, definitely. Benson says, got it, thanks. So some people are saying, that they're from India and $197 is a lot for this. Well, consider this. I recently sold a program which was $997. So it had way more personal implementation with this. That's the reason why it was way better, way more expensive, actually. Not necessarily saying it's better, but way more expensive. But I realized that it's definitely not for most people. And $197, I totally understand if it's too much for you. But you can easily make it back. If you just take the 7-day Rainmaker email sequence, you customize it, and you send it you persuade the client to basically hire you with the strategies that I just showed you, then you can easily earn $500 with that. So then what? You basically 2.5x your investment in this. So think of it like that. Hamza says, by the way, I had a $2,000 potential lead after I took Csaba's course. Exactly. So, Hamza is one of those upcoming superstar copywriters. He's crushing it with TikTok right now. And he's definitely following me on my proven sales letter breakdown series as well. And he can tell you that you can all the things that you get basically inside this course as well. Finian says the course will be given through live streams, right? If that's the case, could you rewatch the live sessions? It's not going to be live. So originally when I did the course last year, it was live, but we recorded everything and I made a streamlined version of this program from this, and you're going to get access to that. So the 197 version doesn't include live elements. It only includes the big, and it's 16 hours worth of video content inside there, and I don't know, over 100 different checklists and various things like that, not even counting Rainmaker email mastery and the ultimate copywriting swipe vault or something like that. So the only way to get the live calls is to join the 497 version. And in that case, with the students who join that, we're going to have a weekly group coaching session in which we're going to jump on a Zoom call together, and we're going to work together through all the assignments that are inside the program, because there are assignments inside the program as well. There's homework inside it that you can do, and we can look it over. And then obviously you're going to get the replays for that as well. Sandesh asks, what should be the first payment for beginner? I'm not exactly sure what do you mean by payment, what they're paying you, the clients, or what you have to pay for something as a beginner. By the way, Bhavesh asks, can I buy it after 3 days? Actually, you can. So most of this offer will be open for some time, but you won't be able to get this version that also includes Rainmaker email mastery. This is only available on this specific training, so nowhere else. It's not, even if the replay, if you buy after the replay, it's not going to be there as well. So let's just welcome some of our new members who just joined here. So Gregory, awesome to see you, Gregory. Vincent, nice to see you. Carlos, nice to see you inside. Ryan, cool. I can see that some people are connecting here on Discord. So guys, just leave your questions below if you want. I'm here to answer it. It seems like Mantro is quite the like popular figure here. He's a great guy. What can I say? Nicholas asks, what do you like? Do you have other recommended books on persuasion? So I actually have a huge list of books inside Zero to Copywriting Hero, but I also have a blog post. I don't remember exactly which one is it, but like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna maybe check it out right now for you. I have a blog post. I recently published it of like all the best copywriting and marketing books that I think you should definitely check out. And I have basically links to every single one of those. So give me a second here, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. Give it to me, baby. Maybe you know that song. So, okay, just a second. This should be it. So this is the link where you can find more info about all the books that I recommend you read as a copywriter. And you can get a lot of good stuff, but the main value of this course, in my opinion, is that you get all this information curated for you. Because I've been at it for 4 years, and believe me, there are so many tactics, so many bullshit things that a lot of people are telling you to do, like, hey, do this, do that, do Instagram, do Facebook ads, do this, that, and you end up falling like nowhere, and you waste so much time with it. It's not even funny. That's the problem with it. And I just wanted to like basically get all the best info that is personally validated by me and give it to you in one convenient package, everything in one place. So Sandesh asks, I mean the average money the client will payment, or you should ask for a beginner. I think you're referring to your fees. I have a video on my YouTube channel called Beginner Copywriting Rates Explained. And I also send this out as a registration bonus for people who register this on this live training. So basically, just watch the video, okay? So there's specific numbers there. It's like on my YouTube channel, like how much to charge as a beginner copywriter. That's like the name of the video. So also, what's a good hourly rate to charge for someone starting from scratch? I don't really recommend you start with an hourly rate. I recommend you start in a project-based rate, because you say, my fee is $50 per email, or my fee is like $100 per website or something like that. Okay, I really recommend you do it like that, because hourly rates is hard to track, and it's like what if you get better, for example, and then you're gonna do the same work in less time, but like then what is happening? Like you're getting better at copywriting, but you're actually getting paid less because you're working less, but you're doing even better work. So it doesn't even make sense. Okay. Taylor says, what's your YouTube channel? I'm going to leave a link to that below as well. This is it. Game of Conversions, it's called. Michael already knows it. Cool. So thanks, Hamza, as well. So any questions regarding the training part itself, or from Zero to Copywriting Hero, or the other bonuses? Like, remember, you're only getting the bundle with Rainmaker Email Mastery if you join on this training right now. Otherwise, it's not available. So you better join now before I close the webinar. It's going to be a few more minutes, but after it, I'm going to like basically sign off here. What else do we have here? Thanks a lot for this webinar. You're welcome. Awesome. Also, guys, if you've enjoyed this webinar, like, I'd like to ask you a favor. It's like, if you enjoyed it and you feel like you got a lot of value from it, then I appreciate it if you left a testimonial in the chat section right now, because that would help others as well attend. That would help spread the message to others as well. So in a minute, I'm going to basically end this training, but I'm going to leave the chat open for 5 more minutes, okay? And I won't be talking. Instead, I will be reading your comments and testimonials, smiling, hopefully. And then if you could take a couple of minutes to just leave a testimonial for this webinar and the contents of it, the contents of the training itself, I really appreciate it. But the last thing that I want to leave you with is that I know that for most people on this call, the thought of that's probably going through your mind is like, this looks amazing, Csaba, and I really like to join, but like, I don't have the money to invest right now. So I'll just take what you taught me, I'll do it myself, and then I'll earn the money so that next time I can purchase your course. And you know what? I think that, that can definitely work for you. So you are capable of it. You can do it alone, but here's a challenge. After spending 4 years in this industry and doing just that, like working mostly alone on this, and spending months of time, like wasting time and doing all sorts of stupid mistakes and trying on different things and failing a lot, I discovered that, there are times when you need to ask for outside help. And there are lots of things that you should be doing alone. Like if I'm trying to get to a new restaurant, then I'm going to use Google Maps because it's the easiest way to get there, right? But I can guarantee you that if somebody's trying to like climb Mount Everest, they're not going to use Google Maps for that. They're going to use a guide because that guide has been there. He's done that. He's way more ahead on what he knows about this whole thing than you. And let's be real, like, it's not like there aren't any free resources out there. There are a bunch of free resources, but the problem is with publicly available stuff is that it's actually, there's tons of strategy, tons of meaningless tactics out there, and it's very, very, very hard to get misled by people, by bloggers who don't even know what they're talking about. They're just writing those articles to get more traffic numbers, and they're writing about things that they know that they're popular. Like, there's a reason why Dan Lok is popular, is because he's always talking about these, like how to make $10,000 overnight on the internet or something like that, because that's what people want to hear, but it doesn't work. It's not sexy at all. So the opportunity that I'm giving you right now is that, yes, you can do this alone and pay the tens of thousands of dollars that I did for training, just figuring out everything myself, doing a lot of mistakes, missing a lot of good projects and getting ripped off by clients. Or why not just let me help you get there, okay? So I give you my word that I will help you get there better, faster, and easier, and even with greater success so that you can do it. So the truth is that, people who succeed in life are those who take action. And think about it, like probably everything you've ever achieved so far happened because you took action. So why not join me? Why not become the next successful copywriter? And why not do it right now? So thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to leave this open for 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to go read your insightful comments, and I hope to see you inside. Cheers.